Street about 11 years ago, and when I lived in Uplands Corner, there was a big influx of people who moved into the neighborhood.
Gay white men, you can say it. Go ahead.
And
Jones Hill, I got your back.
I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate you. And they started a neighborhood association, and as a person unaware of the powers of coming together and working as a community, I realized the power that having representation by the residents in the community can bring. So I wanted to do a similar thing for the community I live in. And so far, this is Team Alaska, and we've been working together to resolve some issues on Alaska Street. And so we're working together now to try to create a broader community organization that would include residents from neighboring streets and within the community. If everybody didn't sign in, there's sign-in sheets in the back for each street that's involved with the 7-Point Association. And you can leave your contact information and let us know how you would like to be contacted. I'm Scott. I live on Alaska Street. Hopefully tonight I want to meet everybody and hear what ways that people would want to work together to try to find common ground about issues that may be in their neighborhood or on their street, and find ways that the people within this room and this network can work together with me and my neighbors to try to solve some of the issues that we've been facing. And more than anything, establish an entity to represent my neighborhood and my street going forward for political associations, so representatives from the politicians that represent our neighborhood, the police that represent our neighborhood, the businesses that represent our neighborhood, and have a voice to be able to speak to the many entities that interact and interface with the community that I live in. So I'm going to pass it off to Angela to talk about how we're going to set up each of the streets that make up the 7-Point Association.
Okay, and before we turn it over to Angela, we're actually going to introduce one another. Your name, where you actually live, what inspires you to actually come tonight, and what do you hope to leave here with. So my name is Lois, and today is my birthday. I turned 30 today, so it's a big day. Go ahead. Okay, so 30 plus 30. But at any rate, I feel like 30. Again, I live on Alaska Street. I live at number 35. I've been living off and on there since 1969. Wow. I love my neighborhood. This was important to me because I love community, and I wanted to welcome those individuals that do not live on any of the streets that are mentioned, but yet you're part of the neighborhood, because we don't want to limit this to just those 7 streets. It's about all of us, a community. So thank you for coming. But yes, so I'm going to start with this young lady.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. I live on Waverly Street. I wanted to come tonight because my partner and I, we live in a building. We've been trying to start a tenants association in our building because we see the value in coming together and community and establishing power as residents in a space and as a community, and I really love the community that I live in, and I'm glad I saw this on my car and was really glad that this was happening, so I'm glad to be here and meet other people in the neighboring streets.
And participate and become a member.
Yeah.
Everyone, my name is Joe. I live with Rachel on Waverly Street. So I echo the things that Rachel said. Also been community organizing for a while. Used to organize with a group called Reclaim Roxbury. So yeah, so really the power of collecting everything. So just excited to be part of it.
Hi everyone, my name is Bethany Sirota. I live at 47 Clifford Street. I am just notorious for being civically engaged in neighborhood associations. I'm a part of 9 Streets, formerly part of RNC. Deep roots in Roxbury. I see the neighborhood changing dramatically, and I think it's important to be a strong advocate for what it is that we need. So always happy to be engaged, participate in this event.
I am Samuel Vital. I work for Councilor Kim Jane. I also live in Roxbury. I live on North Avenue. So I have been working very closely with DSNI here tonight to support whatever we can as an office and Councilor Jamie. We've been working closely with Angela, with some of you, addressing some of the issues, but we are happy that you are getting together.
Hey, how are you?
I didn't recognize you. So I'm here and I will take notes at the end if you guys have any questions.
My name is Val Madden. I live on Alaska Street. I've been part of community organizations, community gardens, since the 1980s. No, that's good. But yeah, so I come from my family comes from the South End in the 1960s, 70s, and all right. So we've been at Fort Hill for 20 years, and now you're stuck with me.
Yay!
Good evening, everyone. I'm Faye Morgan. I work with Lois Reason, and I live on Burrell Street. I'm sure it's not part of, is that Roxbury?
It is Roxbury, yes.
Oh, well, good. I feel even better now. Nice to meet everyone, and hopefully I will continue to come and participate. We need help over there on Burrell Street a lot. Representation. All I know is I used to live on Alaska Street with Lois, and I work for Lois. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you. Leah Daniels. I live at 12 Marcella Street in Roxbury. I've been there 20 years, but my roots here started before the streets were paved when Academy Homes was going up, because that's where I actually grew up at. So I've been around a long time, and I came to support what's going on with Lois and see how we can extend the 7 to assist all, if possible, because we all need this help. So thank you. I'm glad all I have to do is walk around the corner.
My name is Nezar. I work at 2 Waverly Street, and I'm just interested in what's going on in the neighborhood and future developments.
My name is Cheryl Holmes, and I was invited by Lois to attend. I've been in Boston since '75. I've lived in various communities in the Roxbury, Dorchester, Natick area. I'm currently at 66 Kingsdale Street. I'm one of Mel King's mentees, and advocacy, community advocacy it's just part of my bones, right? And I'm an educator and a trained sociologist. So I'm here to take it in. I'm on a board with Lois as well. Boston Urban Academy. It's a up-and-coming independent school. Lois will probably tell you more about it. It's exciting to see this kind of thing happening in these times.
I'm Will Mead. I live on Perrin Street. I'm just here to see everybody and try to participate in the community.
My name is Marlene Arana. I live at 7 Berlin Ave. I moved there about 13 years ago. When I first moved there, it was just horrific, and it got really cleaned up. I've been kind of like a one-woman show. I'm quite hated on the street, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
You got company.
yeah, I'm like I said, quite hated because whenever I would see the prostitution, the drugs, whatever, I would report it. I work with the police. I have no fear, no qualms, and I tell people I'm calling the police on you, and that type of thing. And I've gone to the 9 Streets meetings as well, as much as I can. So when I saw this distributed all throughout my street today, I was all excited. I said, oh, I'm going to go to that one too. So, and here I am.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Misha. Thank you. Funny story. I was the wrong building in the wrong meeting. I thought this was the Shelbourne. Is this the Shelbourne?
No.
Well, I was on Washington Street.
I'm in the
next
meeting.
door,
Yeah, I'm in
but
the
I was
meeting.
sitting in another meeting.
7:30.
Like, is this the neighbor? This doesn't seem like. So sorry I'm late, but I'm Kamisha. I live on Murray Ave, which is off of Blue Hill.
Right by the,
it's in between Moreland Street and
the shop one?
is that the little
Irwin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tell me about
You know your streets.
yeah. So I've been there since 2007.
Yeah, you could.
And I have 3 children. And no, I'm like, no, I'm not at the corner. I'm like a little further down. It's only like 4 or 5 houses.
Okay.
But that is street, short street. I
Yeah,
like
in the middle
it.
of
It's
the
not
meeting.
a lot of turnover on all the houses are owner occupied except
I
for
was
one.
trying.
And I'm the newest to the street, and I've been there since 2007. Other than so, yeah, that's it. I'm excited for this neighborhood meeting and to be a part of it.
Well, I'm Serena. I live at 15 Alaska Street. I guess I'm the youngest person in this group. But what got me
Okay now.
what got me involved in this because I have a 9-year-old daughter and I've seen so much growing up and I've noticed that the rules have changed. So, I just want to make sure my child is safe and I want to know what's going on around at all times so she can be safe.
Good evening. My name is Angela Williams Mitchell. I live at 32 Alaska Street. I've been there 25 plus years. I worked in Roxbury for many. And now that I'm so-called retired, I am doing more now than I did when I was working for pay, but it's a good thing. Earlier this year, we did a block party, and before that, we did a standout because one of our neighbors lost their house and they were being evicted, and it was just chaotic. So a group of us got together, Val, just a group of us on the street got together to try to bring attention to what was going on. The previous owners lost it, but the tenants got taken care of. That's not the word I want, but the tenants were not displaced. They got compensated for the inconvenience that they were going to suffer. So it worked out for them. That means I'm talking too much. So from there we decided that we wanted to expand and be inclusive and bring in the other streets. And here we are. This is our first meeting for Roxbury 7 Point Neighborhood Association. I hope it won't be the last. We definitely need folks to come out and be supportive. I don't want this, as we talk, we don't want this to be just another association. We really want folks to be involved, and we know that there's always challenges, but we are adults and we ought to be able to face those challenges because at the end of the day, what we do or we don't do affect all of us. So that becomes extremely important.
That's right.
I'm a hard worker. I don't mind putting in the time as long as there is support, and so again, here we are. How we're thinking of doing this, because there are now 8 streets. We go from Clifford to Murray, Blue Hill Avenue, and we included Warren because we know that block between Clifford and Waverly has been sold. It's going to be developed, so we just wanted them to be a part of it right off the bat. And then that way too, we get a voice as to what kind of development is going on or going up there. So we included it. What we are hoping for the 4 of us right here, including Val, we are Team Alaska. So what we are hoping is that every street will have 2 to 4 members or residents on their street to form their own team. The teams for each street is what will make up the governing body for Roxbury 7-Point Neighborhood Association. We on Alaska Street can't go to Murray Street, or Irvin Street, or Clifford Street and say what's going on your block. We have no clue. But and even though a lot of the things may be similar, like, you know, you have the prostitution, or you come out and you find needles, you know.
Additional drug addicts hanging around.
You know, your car being broken into and whatnot. We have the same issues, but I can't ask you to come to Alaska Street and take care of our issues, just like we don't know what's going on. So everyone needs to come together, and we support each other to take care of whatever needs taken care of, the good, bad, and the indifference. I am hoping that from each street tonight, we get volunteers that would want to be on the team. And between now and the 22nd of November, that we get the list of whether it's 2, like Murray Street. Murray Street is this big, you know, so you may only need 2 people. Clifford is a lot of folks on Clifford Street, you know, a lot of homes. So they may need 4 members on their team. But I'm hoping that by the 22nd of November, we get a list saying who are the team members, so that by the 10th of January,
The next meeting is
December 10th of December.
That's the next meeting.
That's when we get together and we begin to host our team meetings to talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to structure the organization, and what issues we want to tackle. Parking permit. On Alaska Street, we are doing parking permit for individuals. We want to do it for the entire 7th Street, but we need each street to sign a petition. We need a petition filled out by all the members. I think we have to have something like 56% of all the residents collectively on those streets to sign. With that, we get the parking signs saying, you know, resident parking only, Roxbury resident parking only. We find that that's important because for Alaska Street, across the street, there is a body shop, there's a car mart, and a lot of their cars are parking on Alaska Street. You know, that's a hindrance for us because we don't have to park. Sometimes I have to park at Herring or in Blue Hill, you know, and I live down at the end of Blue Hill, but parking is just an issue. So we are addressing that. Hopefully, the other streets would want to participate in it. There's some books over there where you can get your own. This young lady have one in her hand. You hold it up, please. Yeah. Where you can get your own individual parking sticker. It's free. There's no charge. You can do it online, or you can go down to City Hall, the first level, to window 8, 9, or 10, and you can get your parking ticket, your parking sticker. You just have to have your registration and a bill of some sort to say that you definitely live there.
Okay, so is this going to be issued for the people that live on the street, or is this a Roxbury parking
So if
permit?
you do the individual, it's Roxbury. You can park anywhere in Roxbury. If you're going into town and you want to get the train at Ruggles, you can park anywhere in Roxbury. Roxbury residents, you can park, hop on the train. So I got it, and that's the reason I got it, because oftentimes I'm going into town and I don't want to drive and end up with a $60, $75, $90 ticket, you know.
Okay.
I will park somewhere down Whittier and hop on the train. So anywhere. But conversely, if somebody lives anywhere in Roxbury, they can also park in our street because they have a Roxbury Park, sticker. But I think that's more on the lower scale than the other way around.
Okay.
It's on you.
Oh, sorry.
Any questions?
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Facebook. We have a Facebook page called Roxbury 7 Points Association. Sorry.
You sure? With a space, don't put a space.
Yeah, Roxbury 7 is together, all one word, and Points Association is together, that's one word. It's listed on the bottom of the agenda, our email and our Facebook page.
Okay.
But our Facebook page just shows, useful information like with how, like the election, everything that just happened, or as I just been posting stuff about our Neighbors app. I think everybody should get the Neighbors app on their phone because it's really good and useful because it shows people stealing packages, or trying to break into cars, what's going on around the area, which I think is very, very good. Also, you guys can email us for any questions, concerns, what have you not. Yes, sorry, I don't like talking a lot.
You're doing good. You're
I
doing
like
good.
for things to flow.
Be yourself. You're good. You're good.
Also, we have a block party coming up August 8th, 2020, and last year when we did it, we had such a good time. We met our new neighbors, everybody cooked something, we shared, we all just came together as a community, and we had fun. So I'm looking forward to next year, to seeing everybody come and join our block party. Any questions, comments, concerns, email us. One of us will get back to you guys. In the but yes, that's it.
Is the Facebook page up?
Yes, the Facebook page is up. Send a friend request and I shall accept it, or you can write your name down and then once I get home I can friend request you. Because I am getting a lot of friends with requests and I don't know who these people are. They just look funny money to me. So I don't want to accept somebody and they're not for us. So just being honest. So yeah, just leave your information and I'll look you up and I'll send a friend request to you. Any other questions? No? Okay. You're welcome.
So a lot of this started trying to throw the block party. Good to note that this group is inclusive of 9 streets of any other entities that are in the neighborhood. We hope to work along with any other neighborhood associations that might have the same constituents that Roxbury 7 Point Association does. It's not an attempt to replace, it's an attempt to try to move forward and come together. And so if anybody works alongside other organizations that we might not be aware of, feel free to let us know via email or a Facebook group, and we'll try to attend those meetings as well. When we came together to try to do a block party, I brought up there's a few open lots throughout our Roxbury 7 Point kind of geography, and there's one on Alaska Street. At a community meeting that we all attended that was hosted by Department of Neighborhood Development, there was discussion of the development that would go up on all of these empty lots, mostly affordable single-family housing, which was great. Our street is pretty heavily populated, like most of the streets on this geographical plot. And so I asked Department of Neighborhood Development what we could do to possibly maintain a green space on our street and within our neighborhood. And they said that they were here to hear from us and talk with us about whatever we wanted to do on the street and with the lots in our neighborhood. So I moved forward to say that we want to try to have an open space, an open green space, and we've progressed since then. We made contact with DND, we've made contact with a couple other organizations within the city that might be able to help us and sponsor us in trying to create that green space. And so, yep, and we hosted a meeting for Alaska Street residents not too long ago, and with the support of Kim Janey's office, we're trying to move forward with making that space open for residents of the community and residents of Alaska Street. To note that a lot of this organization will be able to support other streets if they thought that would be an initiative that they would want to take up, while there's still other empty lots in the neighborhood, and as there is inquiries for development and other things that come up. So we're currently in the process of helping develop a green space on 30 Alaska Street. At the meeting that we held on Alaska Street, we realized some of the great resources we had right in our own community. A volunteer architect, somebody who speaks lawyer talk, was able to read and draft documents, long documents. And so it's been great to come together and realize what kind of resources are available for us. And so hopefully at 27 Alaska Street, we'll be able to have a green open space for everybody within the next few years. But we'll definitely be having a cookout there on August 8th, 2020, once again as well.
So it was good that this one of our neighbors, he's an architect, and he volunteered to do the sketch for us to begin to have a conversation with D&D. So that was awesome.
My turn. Happy birthday to me again.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay, I just need everybody to stand up for a second. Just stretch. Okay, stand up because I don't want to lose anybody. Just stretch. All right. Okay, don't get too comfortable. Okay, now you sit back down. All right. Now, as everybody knows, a lot of associations already existed. And there were initiatives that some people had started with other neighborhood associations, but things were not followed through. And we, as an association, we're really looking to not only start things, but to complete them. That's important, because we can talk all day long, but it's about results, right? So what I want to let you know is some of the initiatives that have already been on the table for us. And as I'm telling you about these initiatives, think about things that are going on in your neighborhood, because we naturally think that this list will grow, so that we can attack those initiatives as well that are happening right on your street. So one of our initiatives was Perrin Street. You're familiar with Perrin Street. Right now it's a two-way street. We want to change that to a one-way street. A lot of people don't know, I didn't even know until our last meeting, that there was an altercation because people get mad when it comes to road age, and somebody was trying to go in, somebody was trying to go out, nobody wants to move, and there was a gun that came out, you know. Those are the kind of things we want to avoid. And there's been every day, to be honest with you, because I take that street every day, and when I'm going from Perrin Street onto Moreland to take that turn, I'm like, am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? And that's real. So we don't want any additional accidents or altercations, so we're going to be looking to change that to a one-way street. In the interim, because some things like that take time, we're at least looking for some stop signs where everybody has to come to a stop. Very similar to what they did to Waverly and Perrin. That was nice. It's still a problem. I know people won't talk. I mean, people still don't stop sometimes, but 80% of us do stop.
Yes.
I stop. You know, so
Plus it gives us bite. With the stop sign there, if there's an accident or something, it gives us more of a bite than it does for Moreland and Perrin, because there's a stop sign on Perrin, but there's no stop sign on Moreland. And Moreland is a busy street, it's a cut through.
yes.
There's a stop sign now right at Moreland, right?
There's a one on Perrin before you go on to
But Moreland doesn't.
None.
right. And we need two signs actually on Moreland coming from both directions. Because when you get down there, whether you're taking a left or a right, you're like, whoa.
What direction are you thinking for making the one way?
Going to Moreland.
Towards Moreland. So
Yes,
when you
to
come
Moreland.
off of Blue Hill, off Waverly, going straight down.
So you'll never be able to, unfortunately, and I'm going to miss it, Because I'm gonna have to go all the way around when I go down Alaska. Instead of taking that left, I would have to take a right to get back to Blue Hill. All right. Also, another initiative: speed humps. It's only been the grace of God that a child or an animal or a human being hasn't been hit on Alaska Street. I don't know how they do on Clifford and Waverly, but I know on Alaska Street it's a throughway. I mean, they literally 30, 40, I mean, alarms are set off. That's how fast people are driving. So
I sleep with my remote control because my alarm is always going on.
and that's the speed that people are driving down these streets. And that's, I don't think you have that issue, right, on Murray Street?
She's got jokes.
Yeah, I have an issue in Irwin though. I can't keep that sign in front of my house up because people back into it. They fly down Irwin, dead end street.
That's
Fly
crazy.
down Irwin because they're under the impression that there's a cut through.
Yes.
And then they get to the end and they get upset.
Wow.
My fence is gone.
Oh my
yeah.
You wouldn't believe it.
See now?
My fence is gone, the signs, the BTD knows me by first name.
You don't have a dead end sign?
Yes, there's clearly a dead end
Yeah,
sign.
There is one.
Clearly.
So,
People are driving like.
so on that street, probably two different signs that they have put up for reflectors, so that people know you can't go any further. But thanks for saying that, because
Horrible.
sometimes we don't take dead ends into consideration when you think of speed humps, because you don't even think somebody would be developing that much speed. So thank you, I appreciate that information. And then lastly, the rodent problem. That, I don't know if that's a problem everywhere. She's smiling, okay. But the rats, I'm not trying to see rats
Yes.
outside my home.
Oh, yeah, whoa, okay.
And so that's something collectively we wanted to work on.
I have tunnels
along-
in my yard.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
So the back of my yard, they're digging condominiums back there, those rats. They're just having a great old time. My husband thinks that there might be an old, not used anymore sewer line, water line from the city that they're using, that the rats are using as a little highway. Because I'm wondering if we can get a hold of the city and see if there's some old pipe back there that
I
we can take
thought
out.
that, but
But,
I have tunnels in my yard.
Right, me too.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I have I'm a code
No, I'm
compliance
gonna
inspector
last
for the
on
state of
inside.
Massachusetts, and the reason why we have rodents is because the people that are building and digging around here are not treating the ground accordingly, and no one is holding them accountable for that.
Say
They just
more,
let them
say
come
more.
here and do whatever they want. They do not treat. You are supposed to treat prior to digging and kill off as many rodents in or displace as many